Detective Sarah Carter had seen many crime scenes in her career, but this one was different. The victim, a young woman named Emily Hart, lay on her bed, her face frozen in an expression of sheer terror. There were no signs of forced entry, no fingerprints, no DNA, just a single Polaroid photograph placed neatly on her nightstand. The photo showed Emily sleeping, taken from inside her own bedroom. Scrawled on the back were 3 words, "I see you." Sarah's blood ran cold. This wasn't just a murder, it was a game. As Sarah dug deeper, she uncovered a horrifying pattern. Over the past 5 years, 6 women had been murdered in the same city, all in their homes, all with a Polaroid left behind. The killer never left any evidence. No fingerprints, no footprints, nothing. The press called him the silent observer. The only connection between the victims? They had all filed police reports for minor disturbances. Peeping Toms, strange phone calls, the feeling of being watched. The cases had been dismissed as paranoia. Now they were dead. Sarah's only lead was a blurred security camera image from a gas station near Emily's apartment. A tall figure in a dark hoodie, face hidden, but in his hand, a vintage Polaroid camera. Then, a breakthrough. One of the earlier victims had scribbled something in her diary before she died. "He's in the walls." Sarah rushed to the woman's old apartment, now rented by another young woman, Lisa Monroe. When she arrived, Lisa was pale, trembling. "I hear noises at night, like scratching." Sarah's instincts screamed. She tore open the bedroom closet, and there, behind a false panel, was a hidden passage. The narrow tunnel led to a small crawl space with a perfect view into Lisa's bedroom. A nest of blankets, empty food wrappers, and Polaroids. Hundreds of them. Lisa's photos were already on the wall, marked with red X's over dates. Sarah's radio crackled. "Detective, we found something else. The killer's journal." The words inside made her stomach drop. "I don't just watch. I become part of them, their homes, their lives, and when they least expect it, I take everything." Then, a noise. A faint creak from inside the walls. Sarah's breath caught. He was still here. The lights flickered, the air grew thick. Sarah drew her gun, aiming at the closet. "Police, show yourself." Silence. Then, a whisper, so quiet it could have been the wind. "Detective, you should have stopped while you could." A shadow moved, and then the whisper echoed in Sarah's ears, sending a jolt of adrenaline through her veins. She kept her gun trained on the closet, her finger hovering over the trigger. "Lisa, get out of here, now," she ordered. Lisa didn't need to be told twice. She bolted for the door, but before she could reach it, thud, the door slammed shut on its own. The lights went out. Sarah's heart pounded in the darkness. She fumbled for her flashlight, flicking it on just in time to see a figure dart across the hallway. He was inside the apartment. Sarah radioed for backup, but the signal was dead. Static hissed through the earpiece. Then, a new sound, scratching. It was coming from the walls. She moved cautiously, sweeping her flashlight beam across the room. The Polaroids on the wall seemed to stare back at her, the women's faces frozen in fear. A floorboard creaked behind her. She spun around. Nothing. Then a whisper from the shadows. "You're looking in the wrong places, detective." Before she could react, something heavy crashed into her from the side. The gun flew from her hand. A gloved fist struck her temple. Blackness. Sarah woke up in complete darkness. Her wrists were bound. The air was damp, stale. A single light flickered on, revealing a small, hidden room, the killer's lair, and sitting across from her, calmly flipping through a photo album, was a man she recognized. Officer Daniel Reeves, her own partner. "You?" she choked out. He smiled, turning the album toward her. It was filled with surveillance photos of her. "I've always admired your work, Sarah," he said softly. "But you were getting too close." Her blood turned to ice. "Why?" "Because they never listened," he whispered. "Just like you didn't. They reported me, dismissed me, so I made sure they'd never forget." He reached for a syringe. "Don't worry. You'll be my masterpiece." Sarah thrashed, knocking over a table. The syringe clattered to the floor. Reeves snarled, lunging at her. Bang! The door burst open. "Freeze! Police!" Backup had arrived. Reeves hesitated, just long enough for Sarah to kick him square in the chest. He stumbled back, crashing into a shelf of chemicals. A glass bottle shattered. Fire erupted. The room filled with smoke. Reeves screamed as flames licked at his clothes. Sarah rolled away, coughing as officers dragged her to safety. The last thing she saw was Reeves' burning silhouette, still reaching for her. Epilogue: The Unseen. 3 months later, Sarah stood over Daniel Reeves's grave. The fire had taken him. The case was closed. But as she turned to leave, something caught her eye. A fresh Polaroid tucked between the flowers. Her hands shook as she picked it up. The photo showed her sleeping in her own bed. On the back, a single word: soon. The end.